everybody, welcome back to A Sweet Journey. I am Sonia, also known as Sweets, and I am on day 3 of my wellness plan, and I thought I would check in and just kind of let you all know how things are going. It is an interesting journey, and I think it's a lifelong journey, and so I'm glad to share some things that are going well and some things that I'm struggling with, but mostly I think things are going really well. One of the things that I am excited about is the idea that I have incorporated intermittent fasting into my life. And so I don't eat before 11 and I don't eat after 7. So I just finished dinner, and I don't know, I think something about that builds boundaries and discipline. Typically I mindlessly eat, like I snack. I'm a snacker, and so I mindlessly do that. But providing boundaries like that gives me an opportunity to focus on something else and really be intentional about what it is that I am putting in my body and when I'm doing it. And so in the mornings I've had to change my routine, because typically I would get up and I might make breakfast, or I might snack on something, and I might go walking or something like that. But I've had to change it up and be really intentional about what that morning routine looks like. And so that actually is working for me. And I think discipline is like a muscle, and you just kind of have to keep building it. I was listening to a TED Talk today, and this young man said that we have to learn concentration because it's not taught, but what you practice is what you become really good at. And what we are really good at, what we practice quite often, is distraction. Like, we practice being distracted often, and we become really, really good at it. And so he encouraged us to practice focus or concentration. And so that's part of really what I'm up to right now anyway. And so I'm excited about that. Another thing that I have really become diligent about in 3 days, and yes, again, I know 3 days, but another thing I've become diligent about is walking. I have my niece and I get up in the mornings, and after I've done a couple of other things which I think are also important, like I've gotten into trying to figure out what meditation might look like for me, meditation/prayer, like what that might look like for me. I'll listen to a TED Talk, I'll listen to an Audible book, but really try to get my mind, be intentional and focus on what I want my mind to focus on for the day. And so I will look up a topic or read something that helps me to focus. So that is pre-walk. Then I go walking, and one of the things that I love about walking is that I get an opportunity to share with my niece. My niece walks with me, and so we just talk literally for 30 minutes. And that is really awesome. We talk about all sorts of things, but again, that just gives me the opportunity. It's like getting myself ready for my day. So it's the like pre-work for my day. So I love that. And I told you all before that I have rheumatoid arthritis, and one of the things that I've discovered is if you remain stagnant, you stiffen up really badly. And so for me, getting out and walking really helps to kind of keep me like good, and I'm not as stiff as I normally would be. So that's been a big help. Another thing that has been really good is that I added, and this was a surprise to me, like this one was not planned. It was not something that I thought about doing. It came up as an idea, and it was a good one, and so I implemented it, and that's adding turmeric. So I take turmeric tablets, and I say that because they are huge, probably not that big, but I take 2, and it's 1,000 milligrams for 2. And what I have discovered is I did not realize that there were things that I was missing, and things that I was missing that kind of caused me to be tired, cranky. I was really kind of eating horribly. I was distracted in my mind. It was hard for me to kind of stay focused. Some of that is from rheumatoid arthritis. Like, those are some of the things that happen. I was achy, and when you're achy and your body is trying to function normally, sometimes it just makes you tired. But also, I am 49 and I am perimenopausal, which is, very vulnerable right now as I share that. But I am, as I'm going through this change in my life, I am experiencing all the symptoms of that. So I can sleep for 8 or 9 hours and still not feel rested, feel exhausted throughout the day. I feel like I run out of gas at some point in the day. And so some of those things, like what I've realized in the last few days is turmeric has helped with those things. And I wasn't even taking it for any of those. I was taking it so that I could, because it's an anti-inflammatory, and so I was taking it for that. But all of these other benefits have happened. And so I found myself very focused, really able to do work in a very methodical way. I've been kind of charged for the day. And so turmeric. So I highly recommend. I got mine, I think, from Whole Foods. So that is another thing that I've been doing. And I think just really being intentional about what I put in my body. From 11 to 7, as I'm intermittently fasting, I'm really trying to make sure that I eat more fruit and vegetables than anything. And so every day I make a bowl of fruit, a nice big bowl of watermelon, cantaloupe, strawberries, blackberries. I have blueberries. I have little tangerines. I mix it up. I have mangoes, and so I mix it up and I make a nice bowl of fruit, and that's literally what I snack on during work. And that is so helpful to me because it keeps me focused on doing the right things and putting the right things in my body. And then I try to make sure that my lunch meal is hearty, because I'm not eating until 11, and so by the time I get to lunch I am actually hungry. I will have a cup of coffee before then, but I'm not eating before then. But I really try to make sure that I am eating the meal that I want to eat, like the substantive one. I do that during the lunch hour, and then I'm not really a big dinner eater. I don't like dinner very much. But I decided to do 11 to 7 as my eating times, because there are times that I do go out to eat, or there's times that I will have dinner with someone, and I wanted to leave that option open. And so I didn't think it was going to work because I love breakfast. Breakfast is my favorite meal, but I can eat breakfast all day. I can make an omelet at 6 p.m. if I wanted to. So I'm fine with that. And so anyway, and then the last thing that I am doing that I think is a big change, and I talked about this in the last video. Oprah said in her meeting last Saturday, if you are off track, it's because you're not tracking. And that's directly connected to Weight Watchers. And I think tracking brings about another level of focus, in that in order to track something, you really have to be mindful about not only what you eat, but how much of what you're going to eat. And like, I'm scanning foods or I'm typing in things, and sometimes I'll type in something and it's too many points, and so it helps me to know only eat half of it. Like, my niece lives with me right now, and she made this beautiful juicy shrimp boil with like shrimp and potatoes and corn and sausage, and it's lovely. But she uses a lot of butter for that. And so looking up in my Weight Watchers app how many points a shrimp boil is, I had to end up, I scanned that, and then I also had to put in some things that were not in the shrimp boil that was in the recipe on the app, but it allowed me the opportunity to put together what points constitute what I ate. And I could not eat that big bag. There's a bird, I think, that is going to attack me because I think I'm by its nest. I don't know if you can hear it, but I think I'm gonna get attacked by the head. And if I do, I'm gonna leave it in because I think it's gonna be interesting. But anyway, so I can't eat the whole bag because it's a big, like, turkey bag full of deliciousness. I can't eat all of that, but I can eat a bowl full. So I took the bag, opened it up, and took out like about 7 or 8 shrimp. I took out about 3 or 4 potatoes. I took like about 5 little sausage rounds, and I didn't eat the corn because I don't like corn on the cob. It makes me gag. I don't know why. Like, I can eat corn off the cob, but corn on the cob makes me sick on my stomach. Very strange. But anyway, so I didn't eat the corn. I ate that, and all is well. So that has been my first 3 days. So wish me luck. I am really, really hoping that if you all have joined me on this wellness plan, that you have some things that you can share that you're doing, that you're implementing, that maybe I can implement into my wellness plan. And I think that we're in this together. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. I'm not doing this big push of subscriber growth. I'm doing a big push for completion of my goal, which is 49 videos uploaded before my 50th birthday. However, if you find yourself here, why not subscribe if you want to? So anyway, thank you all so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Bye.